Hey, creative souls, writers, word witches, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm very happy that you're here. In this video, I'll be talking about how you can use the full moon in Cancer to benefit your writing practice, which is happening on Monday, January 13th at 2:26 p.m. Pacific time. For this video, I've consulted an astrologer who is new to me. Her name is Maren Altman, and I'll put a link to her channel and to her video about the Cancer full moon in the description below. Real quick, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Johnny. I call myself a word witch because I've been helping people work magic on the page for well over 2 decades. I believe I'm on this earth to heal the world through stories, whether it's the ones that I write and tell or the ones that I help you write and tell. Thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes in helping me reach a goal that I had for my channel by the end of 2024. And I'll tell you more about that in an upcoming video. But for now, let's talk about this full moon in Cancer. Full moons are about culminations. They're about endings, so think about ending cycles, behaviors, and habits, maybe relationships and/or relationship dynamics, and so on. In the context of your writing practice, that might mean finishing up a project or breaking a habit that's been interfering with your writing practice. And in terms of relationships, it could mean relationships in your life that interfere with your writing practice. It could mean your relationship with your writing practice and therefore yourself. How attentive are you to it? Or it could have something to do with the relationships you have with other characters and the relationships they have with each other. Because this full moon is in Cancer, you can bet there will be a lot of emotions. So be mindful of that with yourself and with others who are in your orbit or your sphere. And this can mean breakthroughs in spirituality, so how we view big picture themes and ideologies about what it means to be a human in the world, which translates well into character development. So how do your characters view and live these aspects? So these big picture aspects about what it means to be a human, because we really are writing characters that we want to render as human on the page, right? So how do they view and live these aspects of life, and how does it show up in their choices and behaviors? It can also mean big releases of feelings that we've been holding on to. So think frustration, anger, resentment, anything that's been ruminating, unresolved in your mind, your heart, your psyche. Or do you have a character that's been holding on to something, maybe a secret or a feeling? And is it time to write the scene where that all comes pouring out, a dramatic moment in the story? And remember, you don't have to. In fact, I think it's difficult, if not impossible, to write your novel in order, right? So free yourself up to write scenes as they come to you, even before you know how to connect them together, because eventually it will all become clear. Because the moon is in its home, its ruling planet of Cancer, it's comfortable with these kinds of emotions and movements, or big, deep emotions, which could translate to an ease within you in releasing and or having breakthroughs of some kind. And this isn't to say that they might feel light, because Cancer is all about feeling, but Cancer is also the nurturer of the zodiac. So even though these breakthroughs or releases might be big or heavy, they likely won't be as painful as feared, or they will pass quickly. So think about how this might apply to your writing life and within your stories as expressed by your characters. Have you been putting off writing a scene maybe because you know it will dredge up big feelings in you? Trust that if that happens, it will pass right on through and you won't be carrying it around afterward. This is the magic of writing. And it makes me think about when my older son, my second, was born and he was my biggest. You know how I love metaphors. So this is a metaphor for what I was just talking about. I'm not a big woman, and he was my biggest. He weighed almost 9 pounds, yet he was the easiest one to give birth to. It was just a few hours of labor, a few pushes, and he was in the world. And it all went so well and was so easy that my doctor said he wouldn't tell the rest of his patients what a good job I did at giving birth, because everybody'd be lining up to have me do it for them. So I think about this potential for these big emotions that we might be dreading that might just flow right on through us, right? So use your writing to make that happen, to allow that to happen. Just really lean on it. Think of this full moon in Cancer that way. It is there to support you. It's the mother of the zodiac. It will be there to support you in essence, giving birth to big feelings as they come up. Maybe there's a big situation or event you've been wanting to bring to an end in your life so that you can write better or more often or more effectively. Maybe there's a big obstacle in your writing life that you've been wanting to bring to an end. Something you'd like to see culminate so that you can go another direction or start something new. I'll make a longer video about this in the near future, but I am 99% sure that one of the things I'm going to bring to an end is my search for an agent. After 2 yeses that weren't quite right and hearing plenty of stories from people who have had contracts with agents but never got their novels published, I'm pretty certain that I'm going to go the self-publishing route. But like I said, more on that in a near future video. So for you, is there something in your writing life that you want to finish off so you can be more productive, more visible in the world as a writer? Maybe it's a habit that's been impeding your progress and you're just ready to let go of it. Maybe it's a belief about writing or the writing process, or about yourself as a writer that's been holding you back. In my Alchemy of Writing course, I devote one entire module to this aspect of living a writing life. The beliefs we carry absolutely can and do impact our ability to write freely and effectively. Do you feel shame about a topic you want to write about? Are you concerned about what other people will think about you for writing about this topic? Are you concerned about some sort of conflict if you write about something in particular? Please know that this is part of living a writing life. Our own unique views and the stories that come from us will rile some people or make them uncomfortable, and that's okay. In fact, I think that's a good thing. I think when that happens, we are doing our jobs because we're touching a nerve, we're creating an emotion, we're connecting, right? If you hold back because you don't want the conflict, please instead think of ways you can protect yourself emotionally and energetically while still letting your voice be heard. Do not let other people's emotions or potential emotions, your imagined emotions that they might feel, hold you back from writing. Don't let that silence you. You're not on this earth to not follow through with what you're called to do. So around this full moon, give some serious thought to what you want to let go of so that you can write more freely. Also keep in mind that Mars is retrograde and it's also in Cancer right now, and it does not like being there. So think about these two somewhat conflicting energies. So we have Mars, the warrior, the planet of forward movement and just getting shit done. And it's not only retrograde, so slowed down, but it's in quiet, introspective Cancer. So it gets sort of mad when it's there. As Maren says, this placement might bring about some touchiness, so some passive aggressiveness or some indirectness. So how fun is that going to be, right? Just be aware of this. And if you find yourself dancing around a subject you want to write about or putting off getting to the writing at all, keep an eye out for self-sabotage in your writing. And if someone in your life has an emotional outburst and directs it at you just out of the blue, this is probably why. You might see guilt tripping from some people. You might see victim playing also. So just do your best to not take it personally. And I know that's oftentimes easier said than done, but do your best and just let them sort out their own emotional stew. It's not yours to do. Call them on it if you feel it's safe and appropriate, and keep your distance if you can, because shakeups like that can interfere with your ability to create. As I always say, lean on your writing. Your characters and your practice will always love you. Hey, baby girl. They're always there, happy to help, happy to see you when you show up and take in your words and help you write your stories. So hang out with other writers. You know, I really believe we writers have different ways of viewing the world. And sometimes when we try to behave like or interact with non-writers, it can be kind of frustrating. If you are looking for a community of like-minded creatives who embrace the power of story to heal, come join my Alchemy of Writing membership group. I would love to see you there. Something else that could happen with this kind of energy is a revisiting of an issue. So something unresolved that's been on the back burner could crop up for a quick release, right? So think about your writing projects. Do you have something that was giving you trouble a while back and you set it to the side because it was too perplexing? In a current project, have you been stuck on some facet of your story or your character? Maybe taking another look is all you'll need to unlock whatever barrier has been in your way so you can resolve it and move forward. I hope you will allow this energy to work for you as you write over the next 2 weeks and beyond. It really is a time of endings so that we can start something new or continue a project in a new way with new habits and a new outlook. So that's it for this video, lovely writer. As always, sending you mad writing mojo. Happy writing.